They call him Allfather. They call him Wanderer. They call him God of Wisdom. But above all else, Odin is the god who sacrificed everything. This is not a tale of easy power or effortless glory. This is the story of what it truly costs to know. In the beginning, Odin ruled alongside his brothers, Vili and Ve, after the world was formed from the corpse of the giant Ymir. The earth was made of his flesh, the mountains his bones, and the sea his blood. The sky was stretched from his skull, held up by the four cardinal dwarves, Nordri, Sudri, Ostri, and Vestri. The 9 realms came into being. Asgard for the gods, Midgard for humanity, Jotunheim for giants, Helheim for the dead. And at the center of it all stood Yggdrasil, the world tree, its roots digging deep into the unknown, its branches piercing the stars. The world was formed, the gods were secure. But Odin was restless. Unlike many gods who were content with their domains, Odin was haunted by a question few dared ask. Why does fate rule all things? The Norse world was ruled by weird, fate, immutable and absolute. Even the gods would fall during Ragnarök, the twilight of the gods. Nothing could stop fate. But perhaps one could understand it. And understanding was power. Odin became obsessed, not with ruling, but with knowing. At the roots of Yggdrasil sat Mimir's well, the well of wisdom. Guarded by the disembodied head of Mimir, it held visions of all that was, all that is, and all that may yet come. Odin approached the well. "Drink," said Mimir, "and you shall see. But wisdom demands a price. Your eye." Without hesitation, Odin gouged out his own eye and dropped it into the shimmering depths. The well consumed his sacrifice, and visions burst forth of the end of all things, of blood-red skies and broken spears, of wolves devouring the sun and moon, of Ragnarök. Odin saw the future, and yet it was not enough. Mimir's knowledge was only one thread of the great tapestry. The deeper secrets lay not in what would happen, but why it must happen. Odin turned his eyes toward Yggdrasil itself. If the world tree held the roots of fate, then perhaps in its branches he could tear wisdom directly from reality's bones. He tied a noose around his neck and hung himself upon Yggdrasil. For 9 nights he dangled between life and death, pierced by his own spear, Gungnir. No food, no drink, no comfort, only wind, pain, and silence. He whispered to himself, myself to myself. Because there was no higher god to pray to, no mercy to beg, only the endless hunger for knowledge. On the 9th night, the veil broke. The runes, mystical symbols that underpinned all creation, revealed themselves, not mere letters, but forces of nature. Each rune vibrated with the fundamental energies of existence. Ansu's, divine breath and communication. Raido, journeys, destiny unfolding. Hagalaz, disruption, necessary chaos. Iwaz, life, death, and the gateway between realms. Weird, the great weaving of all things. Odin seized them, not with his hands, but with his mind. The knowledge flooded into him. Spells, curses, healing, binding, releasing. The very grammar of the cosmos was now his to speak. But this wisdom came with a weight no other god carried. With his eye gone, with runes carved into his soul, Odin saw further than any being. And what he saw was tragedy. Ragnarök was inevitable. The gods would fall. He would fall. All things must die. Yet Odin did not despair. He prepared. Odin raised an army of the dead, the Einherjar, fallen warriors who would fight by his side at Ragnarök. He sent his ravens, Hugin and Munin, thought and memory, to fly across the realms each day, bringing him knowledge. He walked the world disguised as an old wanderer, trading wisdom for wisdom, always learning, always preparing. Unlike other gods, Odin was not simply a ruler. He was a student, a seeker. Today, Odin's tale echoes far beyond Viking sagas. He represents a truth humanity struggles with still, the unbearable price of knowing. In every scientist who peers into the unknown, in every philosopher who dares to question meaning, in every person who seeks truth at the cost of comfort, there is Odin. To truly understand is to suffer. But to turn away from truth is to remain blind. Odin's story is not one of conquest or immortality. It is the story of the price of awareness. He gave his eye, he gave his life, he gave his peace, and in return, he saw everything, but at what cost? This is Pantheon Files, where myths reveal not just gods, but what it means to be human.